Hey guys, good evening. This is Dave with Moneyology.com on a Monday, July 24th. Hope everyone had a wonderful day. Today we're going to do a precious metals video on some of the best names in the sector. Overall, what I'm seeing in the sector is that the metals are bottoming. We can't predict, nor do we ever try to predict when exactly this precisely will happen. But what we do see are a number of factors, that some of which we'll go through in the video, that suggest that the metals market is bottoming and is going to be in the midst of a very nice run in the coming weeks, months, and in our opinion, years ahead. And so there are a lot of opportunities. One general theme that we're picking up on is that some of the best names are those that are not in the index. So some of these OTC miners are doing better than those that are listed in the index. And so that's an interesting development, to be sure. Bottom line is, enjoy the video and make sure you do your due diligence on all of these investments. This is your money, so treat this video as education and entertainment, and make this just a starting point in your research, not an end point. And finally, make sure that you position size, you know your stop losses, you know your entry and exit points before you enter any investment. All right, guys, let's take a look at some of these stocks. And one thing is, this video is going to be pretty long, so I apologize ahead of time. All right, so we'll start with the silver versus gold ETF, and this is one of those ETFs that you want to look at. You want to see silver starting to outperform gold if this is a legitimate bullish market. And as you've seen here, since middle of 2016 in June here, silver has been underperforming gold pretty dramatically. But we've seen basically a double bottom here in RSI, and we think that it's starting to finally gather some steam. It's broken out, RSI has broken out above this downtrend here, and so it's going to take some weeks, but we think that the momentum is starting when you look at various different indicators of silver starting to outperform gold, and that's a very bullish development if it continues. All right, silver juniors versus silver majors. Another development you want to see is you want to see junior miners starting to outperform major miners. So in the gold miner space, that's been happening for several months now, and now we're finally starting to see some strength in the juniors relative to the majors in silver. Look at that on the weekly RSI, we broke above 50 here, and while the relative price hasn't shown this momentum that we're seeing in RSI, we're seeing it in RSI, we're seeing it in MACDs. This is definitely the start of a new trend, and it's going to create some tremendous opportunities, and now is a great time to get in early. Okay, so let's look at some of the miners that are looking best in the sector. Richmond Mines, RIC. It's broken out above this $8 trigger mark here, and if you own this is a great place to ride it all the way to 12. If you don't own it, good risk reward entries above $8. MACDs are above 0, stochastics are in great shape, RSI is above 50. All recipes for a very nice run in the months ahead. Next on the list is Sabina Gold and Silver, SGSVF, one of the hottest names in the sector. It broke out above 150, and sure enough, as soon as it did that, it rallied all the way to 192 in short order. RSI is above 70. That's where you want it to be. Where on the one hand it's overbought, on the other hand that's when some of the best gains occur. So while we might see a little bit of consolidation here, we believe that a break above 2 sends shares much higher. This is a great name for the short and the long term. Next on the list is Sandstrom Gold, SAND, another one of those that's had very positive technicals for a while now, all the way from when the stock was in the low 3s. Stochastics has started to rally. The money flow was going in a positive direction. MACDs are above 0. Now we've risen above 50 on the weekly RSI. We're retesting that from the upside. You want to see that hold around $4. Really between $3.85 and $4, you want to see that price level hold, and if it does, we think the next step is $5. If it doesn't hold and you own it long and you're trading this, a good stop loss is around 380. Next on the list is SEMFF, SEMFF, another one of these OTC stocks. Again, MACDs have crossed above zero. We've seen for several weeks now positive divergence where the price is more or less flat, was basing here, where the RSI has continued in a stair-step manner up. Now it's above the 40 level. We think that this is headed towards 50. The middle Bollinger Band at 249, that's a big area. That's a trigger point for us. It breaks that and on the weekly, and it's going to be headed towards 3, which is the 50 EMA. Look at the money flow, the stochastics, all the signs point to a big move in this particular company. Taseko Mines, TGB. It's one that we've been long and we've been very bullish on. It's been profiled in our videos for several weeks now. Look at this beautiful pattern since November. A huge up move, consolidated bull flag here, followed by a breakout retest. Now it's been basing above that 120 area, letting the 50 EMA, weekly moving average, rise up to provide further support. MACDs are about to cross zero. This is going to be a major buy, and we think that this is going to run to test the 2s in the not too distant future. Timberline Resource, TLRS. Look at this basing pattern. This is one of those when it breaks out, either to the downside or to the upside, and of course we believe it's going to be to the upside. The move is going to be massive, and so for us, in the short run, this is likely going to make a run towards 50. We can't say for sure that it's going to break out above 50, but if it does, that's the long-term trigger point to buy. At that point, 50 on the weekly RSI is going to be retaken once again, and if that breaks above 50, the next target is $1. And frankly, long term, this has tremendous upside on from a fundamental basis as well as technical. Next on the list is Trek Mining, LWLCF, another one of those that have been basing for a couple of months now, since May. Look at the positive divergence on the MACDs. The stochastics are now firmly above 20. The RSI is starting to move in a positive direction, positive divergence, where RSI is moving up, whereas the price is basically flat. Our first price target on this is $1. If this breaks $1, this is going to be heading towards $1.50 in short order. Trilogy Metals. Look at this beautiful chart. Beautiful consolidation pattern for almost 2 years. And similar to the TLRS a couple of charts ago, finally broke out. This would have been a trigger at 75. It broke out a couple of hammer patterns, and now it's testing the dollar mark and the 200 EMA at 92. We think that this is going to break above $1, and when it does, there's going to be tremendous significant upside. Gold mining, GLDLF, one of our favorite names. We own a lot of this particular company. Everything about this chart says this chart is headed back to 250. We know a lot on the fundamental story. It's tremendous resources being bought on pennies on the dollar. Frankly, we think that the share price for this one will eventually be in the double digits. But in the meantime, let's just look at the chart. This is finally broken out above 140 today. The weekly RSI is above 50. MACDs are crossing zero, and it's the Bollinger Bands are squeezed so tight that the move, and we believe it's starting to occur now, is going to be pretty impressive. Next on the list is Hudbay Minerals, HBM, another one of those. If you've watched these videos, we've been very high on ever since this breakout above this downtrend. And as we've pointed out, the target is 9. And just look at this, MACDs, stochastics, RSI, everything's pointing towards a beautiful uptrend in the coming weeks and months ahead. International Tower Hill Mines, THM, another one of those we've been very high on just from a technical standpoint. Broke above this downtrend. Now it's consolidating above this baseline of 50 cents. It's above the 50 on the weekly RSI. Our first target is 75. followed by eventual run to retest 140 at a minimum. Next on the list is London Mining, LUNMF. This one looks great. It's the first target, which is, the first short-term target is 675, but we think that that is going to break higher, and when it does, that's going to set up a massive move to the upside. We don't have a price target, but if you're a trend follower, it's a trigger above 675, and just ride it with a stop loss right below 650. Next on the list is McEwen Mining, MUX. One of those that has had, some significant price depreciation in the last couple of months, but it's got great management, it's got great resource, and it's consolidating right where you want to see it consolidated, right below the major moving average, which in this case is the 200 EMA at 262, and it's consolidating on lower volume, and the MACDs are curling up, the stochastics are curling up, and we think that this is going to eventually rebound. Right now, from a technical standpoint, I wouldn't be buying, but I would certainly be looking at this as a buy if it crosses the 280 mark on the weekly. But ultimately, we think that this retests $5 and eventually goes much higher than that. No, New Gold, NGD, broke out of the downtrend here. It's consolidating above the baseline of $3, whereas RSI is continuing to build strength right below the 50. Any day now, any week now, this 50 will be broken from the downside to the upside, and we think that this move is going to be massive. First target is about $4 a share, followed by $5 and $6 thereafter. Next on the list is Orca Gold. Now this is priced in Canadian dollars, so there's likely an equivalent, but we're just looking at this from the Canadian exchange at this point. Very nice consolidation pattern for 2 years now, and we think that this is getting set to break to the upside above this 50-cent mark. RSI has been firmly above 50 during this consolidation pattern, and that's a very strong sign. Stochastics are starting to curl, and the Bollinger Bands are very, very tight, which suggests again that a big move is around the corner. If you are a fundamental investor and this is a good company to own, and this is a great place to start to acquire, add to a position or initiate a position. On the technical level, it's a buy above 50. Next on the list is Persian Gold Corp, PGLC. Broke above this downtrend here and triggers above $3, and it's been triggered, so our first target is $4 a share. It's above the 50 on the weekly RSI, and we think that this is going to continue building momentum. Great looking chart. Polymet Mining, PLM, another great chart. Beautiful base, major breakout. Now consolidation right below the middle Bollinger Band, bullish flag pattern, 50 above 0 on the weekly MACD. It's about to cross 50 on the weekly RSI. This is going to target 80 at a minimum. This is one you definitely want to keep on your radar if not already own. Pure Gold Mining Inc., LRTNF. Beautiful consolidation for a couple of years now, and we think that this is starting to break higher. First trigger is 50 cents, longer term 60 cents as a trigger, but this is going to break higher, and when it does, the move is going to be very, very impressive. No, that's where she was hiding. So the junior miners, GDXJ, similar to a lot of the charts we've been seeing. So we've had a breakout from the downtrend. We had a retest, multiple retests. Now we're basing above $30 a share. As long as we're above 30, in my opinion, that's bullish. This is not a long-term, this is not yet a bullish market until we break above 35. So we think it's coming, but until it breaks the 50 on the weekly RSI, it doesn't have significant momentum. Almaden Minerals, AAU, beautiful breakout rally. Now it's got this bullish flag pattern over here above 120. So long as that 120 area holds, and you want to see 50 on the weekly RSI break to the upside, we think it's going to retest 180, and this triple, quadruple, whatever top is going to break, and thereafter the price target is 320. So really nice upside should it break the 180 area. Anglo-American Platinum, NGLOY. If you want to play platinum, this is one of the best names. It's a major miner, global miner, and we think that this has some of the best technicals in the sector. RSI is firmly above 50. Downtrend is broken. Weekly MACDs are now positive. Our first target is $9, and we think that the upside here is much higher. We're talking 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s when platinum actually breaks above its downtrend, and we think it's in the early innings of that. It's going to be a really nice move here. Bear Creek Mining Corp, BCEKF. The RSI has broken above this downtrend, whereas the price has not yet done so, but price always follows momentum. And we see things headed to 250 in this first breakout, followed by a little bit of consolidation, followed by a move higher towards the 3 to 4 area. Next on the list is Bellow Sun Mining, VNNHF. Another one of those OTC that looks very good. Watch the break above the 50 on the weekly RSI. First target is 90 cents. MACDs have broken to the upside. Stochastics look great. One that you definitely want to own or keep an eye on. Bravada Gold, BVA.V, another one on the Canadian exchange. This one above 20 is a trigger to buy, and the move will be strong towards 35 area, and ultimately we think that that's going to be broken to the upside. This has a lot of really nice fundamentals behind it. Do your due diligence, but one that if it breaks that 35-40 area will have tremendous amount of upside from a technical standpoint. Comstock Mining, LODE. We've been pointing this one out for a while. I don't know what's going on with the fundamentals of this company. Frankly, I don't care, but everything in our opinion is priced into the stock, and it looks good. Something very positive is developing, and we believe that once this breaks 25 to the upside, this is going to have tremendous upside. Endeavor Silver, EXK. It's had a nice consolidation period over the last couple of months. The MACDs are finally crossing zero, and we're waiting for that trigger above $3. But once it breaks above 3, the first target is $3.50. Second target is $5 a share. Entree Gold, EGI. Downtrend has been broken. Now it's consolidating. For us, a trigger buy at this point is 50 cents with a first target of 70. Beautiful chart, one of the best looking charts in the index. This one was pointed out to us today. Exelon Resources, beautiful chart, beautiful breakout on a weekly basis from this downtrend on strong volume. MACDs are above zero, stochastics are above zero. Well, not above zero, but rather very strong. And this move is really nice. And this is what happens when you break above the 50 on the weekly RSI. You get this really nice move as we've seen over the last 3 weeks. 3 beautiful hammer patterns. Our first target is 150, second is 180, and we think that there's significant upside in this stock. Next is First Mining Finance, FFMGF. Another beautiful basing pattern. MACDs are rising above zero, and it's consolidating here below the 50 on the weekly RSI. We think that there's a big move in store. This is one of the better managed companies with a very significant and very interesting fundamental story. Our first target on a break of 60 cents or 55 cents is 85, but the upside on this, as with GLDLF, is double digits. Next on the list and second to last is Fortuna Silver Mines, FSM. We've discussed this one multiple times, beautiful move up, beautiful long-term bullish flat consolidation, breakout, retest. Now we're basing. This is a trigger buy at $5 a share. First target is $6.50. Second target is $7. And last on the list is Freeport-McMoRan FCX. You know, we were bullish at 9, we were bearish at 17. We're bullish again on the stock. It's been frankly basing between 9 and 17 for the last 2 years. We think that this is starting a rally and building momentum that ultimately we'll see it break above $20. And this is one that, if you have a long-term portfolio, it's a name that you want to hold on a technical basis. This is one that you definitely want to own, and because it's one of the strongest technical pictures in the sector. So thanks guys very much for watching. I know it's been a little long. We haven't done a precious metals video in a couple of weeks, and we wanted to circle back here and take a look at some of the names in the sector. Bottom line is, sector's developing momentum. There's going to be some great trading opportunities and definitely some wonderful opportunities to buy and hold for the long run if that's your style. Please follow us on Stocks Twits at Moneyology /Moneyology and Twitter at Moneyology. Please leave your comments on the YouTube message board, and thanks for watching. Take care, guys. Cheers.